Welcome, 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 and thank you for spending some of your time with us. My name is Tina Rosenquist, and this is Knowledge for Wellness. And this show is to enhance your overall understanding of information provided to you, because when you know more, you are empowered to make better decisions, to enhance yourself and your loved ones for a better quality of life. And knowledge is power. And today's topic is on advanced biomedical technologies with Ed Leffler, the owner of Advanced Biomedical Technologies, and Greg Coleman. He's here as a spokesperson for Advanced Biomedical Technologies. Well, you are quite a famous celebrity yourself. Welcome, Mr. Coleman.
Thanks, Tina. It's great to be here. You know, when you talk about celebrity, that's part of a past life, but it's still part of your life.
Yeah.
And it was part of that past life that connected Ed and I, oh gosh, years ago, back in 1984, when I was playing for when I was a punter for the Minnesota Vikings. And as all athletes, regardless of the position, some of my former teammates might say, well, hey man, you're not an athlete, you know, you were just a punter. But, you know, we had our bumps and bruises, and we hurt just like anybody else.
Sure.
And not only athletes, but people in everyday life, you know.
The weekend warriors,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. They will go through their trials and tribulations as well. And I was no different. I just had a different occupation.
Yes.
And that led Ed and I to try some, I would say, advanced medical practices and techniques and treatments and therapies back then that were non-traditional. You know, I've been a guy that's always, my number one focus was comfort.
Okay.
Okay, and I was, and because the number one reason that I chose to be a punter was because I didn't like pain.
Oh.
I didn't like anybody hitting on me, beating on me, and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So, you know, the lesser of the two evils. But even as a punter, you get nicks and knacks, and I sustained some during the course of the year in '84 when Ed and I connected at a mutual chiropractor's office. You know, some things that were taboo back then. But again, I think it's a combination of what I call Team Coleman. That keeps me up and healthy and running, and along with all of those others, and Ed has been a big part of that back in '84, because I can remember, now if I can share this story.
Oh, please do. We love stories.
Messing around in practice one day, and one of the guys got a little upset and took me down. I was probably doing something that I had no business doing.
Okay.
Make a long story short, I hurt my knee
no.
the Saturday before the game. Went in, got some treatment, and was able to play, you know, along with some other treatments that trainers and doctors recommended. But I think that's where we really connected, and that's where I saw that what Ed was doing made a difference. And I don't care how it works. I don't need to understand it. You know, the bottom line for me are the results. I'm a result-oriented person.
Sure.
And it was through that relationship, it was through that initial connection back in 1984 that brought us full circle almost 3 years ago with ABT.
That was the amazing part.
Yeah, wow.
I was talking with a radio station owner.
Okay.
And Greg Coleman's name was brought up. And I said, you mean Greg is color commentator for your radio? And he said, yes. And he also has a bad back today.
Oh, no.
So one thing led to another, and the next thing we're calling Greg.
Quickly.
He walks into my office, and I remember 26 years have gone by. And he walks in, and I'm smiling, and I don't think he recognized me immediately.
Sure.
And I said, we've met before. You remember Good Company, and that was the program we were on.
Yeah.
He broke out laughing. So we've been working on him now for, what, the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, without question.
And this is a whole nother issue. This
Yes.
is now, okay, yes.
It's been a remarkable journey. And when I say journey, because you come and you go, people come in and out of your lives. And I think people are put there for particular reasons for a season. And our season and the chapter in this life has come back. You know, we're just a little bit older than we were back in 1984.
But experienced now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you've gotten the opportunity to find some things that work for you. And that's the most important thing. And the treatments, that I've received with Ed and the staff over at ABT have worked for me. It's just been a remarkable effort by the entire team to keep me healthy, to keep me back on the golf course, which I love to do. You know, it's a little tough this time of the year, but you know, yet and still, you know, to remain active, to do those things that you want to do, let alone the everyday things that we do, going up and down stairs, picking up kids, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But it's all a part of it's all part of it.
Sure. So could you take us through like a process of, you know, you going into ABT and just kind of tell my viewers of, you know, what you go through?
I walk in the door and I kick the door in and I said, okay, let's go. And, you know, it starts with a headband treatment, in-ear clips, and I'll let Ed get into the technical piece.
Sure.
And, you know, kind of settle me down a little bit. And then we start with a non-invasive probe. And from my limited knowledge and understanding the technical expertise, is that the probe will regenerate cell muscles and tissue. Will let you know which cells are, you know, are weak, which cells have life, which cells, and that's where you focus on. Because when I first went in, I couldn't remember exactly what was going, you know, how it worked.
Sure.
And you know, we did a little probe, did an examination. He said, okay, you feel something here? I said, no, not really. He said, well, you should. Why? Because the machine says that there may be some weak tissue here.
Oh, okay.
And I really wasn't telling the truth,
Oh.
but he was spot on. And you know, I didn't have to tell him or the staff where the pain level or the you know, what was making me feel uncomfortable, because the machines don't lie.
Wow.
And from that point, you can focus right on instead of doing a mass evasive type of a treatment,
Right.
but it's specific to that for that particular area.
Yeah. Because you hear about a knee injury and then you think surgery, cutting you open, draining the, you know, all of that, and almost a career ending.
Well,
too.
I've been
Yeah.
very fortunate not to have any surgeries during the course of a 12-year career in the National Football League. I've had some bumps and bruises and some strains and injuries. Only missed one game in 12 years,
Wow.
but very fortunate, very blessed. And it's through, you know, this type of therapy that gets you back on the field. Now that I'm no longer playing football, that gets me back on the golf course.
Sure.
Because that's my weakness. I mean, that's what I do. Work, go to church, and play golf. Not necessarily in that order,
Yeah.
but, you know, that's what it is. And whenever I'm in some discomfort, I give Ed a call, say, hey, man, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Don't need to know.
Right.
All I know is that it's hurting, and fix it. and that's what we do.
Okay. Well, we'll turn it over to Ed. You are actually the owner of ABT, and you can kind of talk more into exactly the machines and, you know, kind of educate our viewers a little bit
All right.
about how it doesn't hurt. It's non-invasive. It's like almost like going to the spa. You know,
very
in a
similar.
sense of,
yeah, we're not we don't come across as the typical clinic per se. We have much more relaxed. The environment is soft, comforting. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
We deal with computer technology basically,
Okay.
and I've had people say, "Well, I heard of this product way back when, and I had one." And I'm amused by that type of statement because computers in 1984 didn't do what computers do today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Our technology is evolving as we sit here. So the difference between this and why it does such a nice job is what Greg mentioned. It does feedback from the body.
Okay.
It has a scan process, and that information is paramount to the successful outcomes that we produce with this technology. It's a smart box. It's looking for values, charges within the cell structure, and we specialize in soft tissue injury. And I will contend that that is the #1 cause of pain, period.
Yes.
Muscles specifically become damaged in almost every athletic endeavor. Overuse from industry. You get hit on a football field and you're going to say ouch, aren't you? Well, that ouch can go on for weeks afterwards. What we've found is when we apply this technology, the muscle relaxes very rapidly. Blood flow returns, compression is removed from the nervous system that's innervating those muscles, and people get off the table and they say, wow, I really feel better. We're not treating pain.
No.
That is something that I would like to make very clear. We're treating the injury. The injury, when we apply this type of technology, the body responds to it quite rapidly. A handful of treatments, people leave, they're fixed.
Yeah.
Until the next time. And Greg has been a good client because he keeps getting injured.
Yeah, there's always a next time.
Yeah.
We see you about every 6 months or so.
Yeah, for the most part.
Somewhere in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The summer was great. You know, my choice of activity is golf. And that's probably one of the, I'm not going to say worst activities that you can have for chronic back. You know, having a congenital spinal lobe and all that kind of stuff, and crooked spine, and you know, leg up in the air, falling down, and you know, hit after hit after hit.
Had
Yes.
to
You know,
literally destroy your back.
well, you know, listen, I wouldn't take it back. You know, if I had to do it all over again, I would. You know, that's you know, that. But the golf swing, you know, is one that it's a rigorous movement, and sooner or later, you know, I'm going to aggravate it, whether by over swinging or swinging too much. But I can play with confidence. Because I know if I'm knocked out, I can just pick up the phone. And a couple of days later, I'm back out teeing it up.
Okay, yeah.
You know, with travel and, you know, having an active life, you know, it's
It's nice to have an active life without pain.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So could you walk us through maybe in your personal experience of recovery time? Let's talk a little bit about when you did hurt your back a little bit. You went in and called Ed, and yeah.
You know, I can't say what triggers it, you know, what sets it off.
Right.
But when it does, and sometimes if I pay attention to the indicators,
Okay.
and I get in soon enough, I've got no issues.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I could be on the road, can't get to them.
Sure.
I go into full-blown spasms, you know, with travel and all that stuff, and being active. As soon as I get back to the cities, I could call them from out of town. Okay, I will be in at 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
I'd say a matter of days, I'm back doing what I need to do.
Oh, a matter of days.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So,
Works for me.
Yeah. That's-
Works for me.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. You know, when you say you hurt yourself, your back, and your recovery time is just a matter of days. You know, people are looking at weeks and months, and
Oftentimes
because of,
that's true. Again, if it's a soft tissue injury, you need to get therapy for soft tissue.
Yes.
And that's what we specialize in, pure and simple.
Yeah.
The golf swing, by the way, is really a very unnatural movement for the
Yes.
human body. So unnatural, we just finished working with a young lady, will-be pro golfer from Norway.
Okay.
She spent a week in our office last week. Now, here's a 17-year-old with a back that has been bad for over a year and a half. She couldn't swing a golf club.
Okay.
And by the end of the week, she was swinging the club, no pain, perfect form, went back to Norway.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great story.
it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Okay.